Okay, let's be honest, who hasn't used a smartphone to entertain a child for even a couple of minutes or longer? So when Studio 5 friend and mom of four, Brooke Romney, shared that too much screen time was changing the mood and the feeling in her home, I knew a lot of moms could relate. Take a look.
We were fighting about time on phone devices and tablets all of the time. I love our pact because it has completely changed our family. My favorite feature is probably the time management. It tracks the amount of time that my kids spend on devices, and when the time is over, it shuts those devices down and they can't use them anymore. Our pact lets you create schedules, and one of the most important ones for me was bedtime. And so we have bedtime from 9:30 to 6. And the thing I love is that the phone turns back on at 6 in the morning. So if you have a kid who keeps saying, oh, you can't take my phone at night, I need it to wake up in the morning, this is a solution for you. If you have younger kids, you want to make sure those iPads are off right after school until homework's done. You can have set schedules where it's family time, it's homework time, it's not electronic time. You can block things like downloading apps if you don't want your kid to just be able to download whatever they want. And by clicking a little button, your child's device cannot search for or find adult content on web browsers. And then if there's things that always need to be allowed, that's great too. Calculators, school apps, other things that they might need. It has taken me out of the role of the nagger. I don't like to be a nagging mom. That's not what I'm here for. I believe in creativity. I believe in boredom. I believe in getting outside. And I didn't want those things that I loved about our family to end just because we have electronic devices.
Technology is a part of modern family life, and moms are doing their best to manage it. That we know. It's nice to see one engaged mom find a solution that works for her family. We're going to pick up the conversation from there. We've invited 3 tech-smart, engaged moms to share additional strategies on how to handle technology in the home. Joining me, writer Brooke Romney. Your face looks familiar. Thanks for sharing that tool. That was so appreciated. Studio 5 parenting contributor Heather Johnson, and back with us, Desert News columnist Amy Iverson. Okay, tech and kids, huge topic, but I love where you came from, where you approached this topic, which was simply, I want my home to carry a certain feeling, and technology is getting in the way.
Yes, I mean, as they get older, it's just harder to manage, and so it was nice to find something that helped me manage technology time, because what I loved most about our family was the way we were active, the way we interacted. I mean, I have 4 boys, so there's a lot of wild time too.
Yeah.
And I noticed everything getting dumbed down a little bit, and I did not want that in our house anymore.
Here's my big question, ladies. Technology is all-consuming. We know that. Amy, you and I sit down and talk about technology week after week in the way that it's working into our lives, mostly for the good. But is it possible? I mean, yes, we want to control the timing of it. Is it possible, though, to put technology on the sidelines and not have that be the focus of our home and of our family life? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about before setting those times. I mean, you have to set times that are tech-free. You have to set areas that are tech-free, and then you have to be the boss, and you do have to be the ones. But soon they learn that that's the deal, and they reluctantly come plug in their phone in your bedroom at night. My kids don't love that, but it has been a habit for years, and it just becomes that way.
Well, and I think it's even bigger than that. We're so quick when we're trying to manage technology, which is good. We can't run from it. It's here. It's not going anywhere. That we're always so quick to tell them to put it away or put it down, and we neglect to finish the conversation, which is, instead of focusing on getting rid of it, what can we do instead, right? How often do we walk up to one of our kids and it's like, no more phones, put them away. And they give us that look like,
well, now what?
I had nothing to do before, so I got my phone. Now I've got nothing to do now. What do you want me to do now? And so there really is a full conversation, right? It's saying, hey, this isn't the greatest choice. Look at all these other options. It's not you can't have it. It's we got so many other choices. Let's make a different choice. But we have to help them do that, right? This idea that they just magically know how to not be bored or fill their lives with other things, they don't always know that.
So it's supplementing with other wholesome activities.
Right, showing them that there's lots of choices. They very quickly will find that interacting with people is more fun than their phone. We just have to help them find that.
It does, too, take some grown-up skills to manage technology. I mean, we all struggle with that ourselves, I know, right, as women, and adults do as well. But you're teaching discipline, and you're teaching things that are well above fair to say that their skill level.
Well, yeah, and I think the point you make when you refer back to us is really important because we have to figure out what our technology attitude is, right?
Yeah,
Well,
we have to set an example.
Yeah.
I mean, so many, we talked about the digital hypocrite before, so many parents are hypocritical at this point. They text while they drive. They're on their phones all the time, during meals, during everything, and then we're telling our kids to do the different. We have to set the example. We can't shy away from that.
I think, too, it's important when they're off technology to help them come to some of those conclusions. To say, you know, when we've had a really great family dinner and nobody's on their phones, like, this was so fun, you guys.
Point out what was good about it.
Absolutely.
Or when everybody, you know, when we go on a hike and everybody leaves their phones in the car, you know, tell them, like, I appreciate you guys all being with me and having us be together and letting them know, you know, sometimes we are at fault also, and saying, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I ruined that moment because I got on my phone. And you're right. Like, this is why I want you to have some time, because I think this is a whole new world for all of us.
Sure.
And what I'm hoping is that we can give our kids the tools to understand when it's appropriate to use it, when it's not, and also how enriching their life can be with the human interaction and connection, and that they miss that when they're on their phones all the time.
Because they might not see it, let's be honest. We were introduced to technology midway through our lives. They've grown up with technology, so it's a totally different mentality. And I think there's something to be said about understanding their perspective as well.
Yeah, and I'm a huge proponent of being active on social media with your kids. Whatever social media network your kid's on, you need to be on there, because it's a great way to keep in touch with them, see what their friends are doing. Don't meddle, don't comment on every one of their posts, but be on there and be part of it so that you're not just oblivious to what they're doing online.
Well, and we have to see too, you know, when we think about this, there is so much science behind it now that we're just picking up on.
It's new.
It is new. Even small things like dopamine hits, which is, you know, the dopamine that's released in our body that our kids want to experience, that we want to experience. It's those chemicals that make us want to achieve. And something like too much tech actually transfers, right? It makes them feel like they've already achieved, so they don't go out and do other things because they've already got their hit.
Like, I've won the game, so I don't need
got
to,
my hit, right? So why am I going to go out and work harder or go practice or go do this or get better at math or go hang out with my family and love it because my mom said this was great? And we're substituting that, right? That's the same substitution we see as something like drugs, as alcohol, pornography. That all provides, it's a similar hit. And so we actually, like, I love the term dumb them down a little bit. They don't have that same desire, and so we want them to.
Really good conversation. You guys, thank you so much. And it's a conversation I know will continue over the years. As you said, it's not going away. Thanks again.